What's going on, everybody? Super96 here, and we have some big Yu-Gi-Oh news. I'm a little late for the party, but I'm kind of glad that I am. Because I waited so long to make this video, some more news have come out about Yu-Gi-Oh's Overframe rarity. I don't think they're going to be called Overframe rarities when they come over to TCG. I think they're workshopping the name. I really wish they would keep them Overframe rarities so that we can call them OF cards, but it is what it is. In case you guys have been living under a rock, Overframe rarities are what Yu-Gi-Oh is finally doing after what feels like decades of us asking. I know, KK, it's insane. They are finally giving us Overframe cards, full art Yu-Gi-Oh cards. People have been making these forever. They made them in Rush Duel before they brought them to the TCG as a way to sell Rush Duel cards, I mostly feel like. And people across the TCG and OCG have been begging for these in the actual card game, and are finally giving them to us. They've already shown off a good bit of them. These ones on screens I'm showing right now. They've also showed overframes for like Zeus. They've shown overframes for Kitakari. They've shown overframe for a bunch of new cards coming out, like a new Crimson Dragon card is coming out, which looks really dope. But all these cards on screen are actually retrains of main protagonists' ace monsters. So we have a retrain of Dark Magician, finally, not just a, oh, this is like a Dark Magician for a different style of play, like with the Shining Sarcophagus, or this is a Dark Magician variant. No, this is the Dark Magician, but with an effect now. Finally, we have favorite hero, Emerald Hero Shining Flame, favorite hero Shining Flame Neos, a new Stardust Dragon, a new number 39, a new Odd-Eyes Pendulum, and a new Deco Talker. One thing that I like about the Overframe rarities is that they're more sought after. It's not like, oh, this is only coming in the Overframe rarity. You can get it in the normal card too. They're doing what Pokemon has been doing since like the Black and White era in like 2011. Magic the Gathering has already pivoted to this as well. I do not understand what took Yu-Gi-Oh so long. It's like, no, I want them to stay like this. This is what I want, yeah. And I'm just like, why? Why? The collectability of the card game has sunk tremendously over the years. And just because you add a new type of secret rare doesn't mean it's automatically more collectible again. But I digress. It is finally we're getting these full art cards. And like I said, you can get them in the normal variants, but we're also getting this. This, I believe, is called a Grandmaster Rare. And there's only 100 of Grandmaster Rares per card. So, like, if a Overframe Rare has a Grandmaster Rare, there's only about 100 of those Grandmaster Rares. It is equivalent to the Magic the Gathering serialized cards. Here's a better look of what they're going to look like. It's got this cool, like, Egyptian hieroglyph border around it. It's got all the secret parallel, I think it's parallel secret, I think it's called, that kind of foiling, because the Overframe Rares are going to be in the ultra rare foiling for the normal ones, but the serialized ones are going to have the parallel secret rare type foiling, and it'll have a number down here on the bottom left saying X out of 100. Obviously this is a prototype, but this is what the Grandmaster Rares will look like. So theoretically speaking, if somebody really wanted to fork over the cash, you could have all 100 of the Grandmaster Rare new Dark Magician cards. And the effects of these things are kind of nuts. We'll go over the effects of some of these cards here in a moment. But one thing that I really like that I waited for to make this video on is how they said that they're going to be releasing them. Now, they've already said that the Overframe Rares for the TCG are going to be in Rarity 5, which I believe comes out in March. So that's hype. That's going to make the set fly off shelves. Like OTS stores, LGCs are going to have to order extra of this set for Yu-Gi-Oh players because everybody's going to be wanting to get these full art cards. But they've also announced that they're coming to core sets as well. 4 Overframe Rares per booster is going to be in here. What I mean by that is that 4 cards in every core booster will have a Overframe variant, which means 4 cards in every core booster will also have a Grandmaster Rare. It makes the core boosters more worth getting outside of just getting the core for new decks. Like if you were buying Justice Hunters to build Yummy and you got the Yummy core, what's the point of buying Justice Hunters after that? Because the secret rare variant doesn't look that much better than ultra rare variant. Yes, if you want to have the shiniest version of your deck, you would still have to go after it. Or you can go after the Starlight rares, almost like QCR. I've been saying that for the past like 3 years. But you can get the Starlight variants, or you can play in the OTS and get the Ultra or Ultimate rare variants. But I mean, the card still does the same, and it's like not that much of a difference. But these Overframe rares, they look incredible. They really bling out the deck. And if they have like, I don't think they have like the texture like full art Pokemon cards do, but if they did, oh my god. Now I wanted to go over what some of these cards do. The first one being Dark Magician, the Pharaoh's Servant. It's a level 7 Dark Spellcaster. You can only use the first and second and third of each effect this card's name once per turn, and only once that turn. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while on the field or in graveyard. I feel like that's like the standard of it. Oh, I read it wrong. Can only use one of the second and third effects of this card's name once per turn, and only once that turn. So you can use the second effect or the third effect. You can't use both. You can reveal one spell in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, then you can set one spell trap that mentions Dark Magician from your deck. Or third, quick effect, you can discard one spell card, and destroy all spell and traps your opponent controls. So, option A, reveal a spell card. So you special summon this card, and you can set Eternal Soul to automatically get it from your deck. Or you can discard a spell card and basically Harpy's Feather Dust your opponent's entire back row. So if you have this card, your opponent's have like a little bit of a back row, you can reveal a spell card and try to get rid of the back row, and if they negate it, and you have Harpy's Feather Duster in your hand, you can just say, okay, Feather Duster, do it again. Now I understand that this works very well with other Dark Magician cards. I'm gonna be real, I have not played a Dark Magician deck. I want to, but I have not. So I need to get some studying on Dark Magician, especially with the new Dark Magician support coming out in February, because this card is going to be insane with all that support. The next one I want to talk about is the Blue Eyes White Dragon retrain. Blue Eyes White Dragon, the White Phantom Beast. When this card, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. When this card is added from the deck to your hand, or your monster is destroyed by battle, you can reveal this card in your hand, special summon it. If this card is special summoned from the hand or deck, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Also, you can only attack directly with Blue Eyes monsters this turn. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card in the field, quick effect, you can discard one card, negate that effect. The only thing that can make this card better is one sentence, right? And that is, this card is always treated as Blue Eyes White Dragon. Could you imagine True Light special summon this thing, this card, and then you can do like rank 8 plays. You can obviously the synchro plays are much better, but this card can be added to your hand via the effect of Kabaman. You can activate the, Burst Stream of Destruction, which is a searchable Raigeki. There's a lot you can do with this card if you just simply add this card's always treated as Blue Eyes White Dragon. And you could cut down your bricks if they did that too, because right now the standard Blue Eyes deck is you play 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon. If you're a Chad, you play 3 with Kabaman, but the standard play is 2, and you can summon this thing off, I believe you can summon this thing off Lordly Load. If my ruling is correct, you can summon a normal monster with the name. Actually, no, you can't summon this thing off Lordly Load. I literally just looked at the card and was like, nope, answered my own question. It's still Blue Eyes White Dragon, but it's an effect monster. But it makes the fusion spell, Ultimate Fusion, much more viable because you need to have a Blue Eyes White Dragon on field. Well, this is a Blue Eyes White Dragon on field. You don't have to completely try to like keep a vanilla on the board. You can just use Ultimate Fusion and fuse this thing away to get Tyrant Dragon out. Another card I wanted to talk about, Stardust Dragon Victim Sanctuary. It's a level 8 Wind Dragon Synchro Effect monster. It requires 1 tuner and one plus non-tuner monsters. I cannot speak. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once each per turn. You also cannot activate them in the same chain. When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your card or effect, quick effect, you contribute this card, negate the opponent's effect, and if you do, destroy that card. If your monster was attributed this turn, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a Stardust Synchro monster from your extra deck. This is Baron de Fleur. This is just new Baron de Fleur. Now, I will say it is a weaker Baron de Fleur because it's not just an Omni Negate that also pops. You have to attribute this thing to get it out. But you can go into any Stardust Synchro monster from your extra deck. Any of them. Do you know how many Stardust monsters there are now? I'll give you a hint. A good bit. And this thing is super generic too. It doesn't need any like junk synchro or doesn't need any synchron tuners or anything like that. It just strictly needs a tuner and a non-tuner. So it's super splashable. And you can special summon any Stardust monster. I think this card's going to really shine in the new Synchron deck that summons out a bunch of different Stardust monsters. But again, it's splashable in anything, so you can go into this and then just summon Excel Synchron and then make your plays from there. This one I'm going to be hunting for. This thing just looks dope. First off, I want to know, where's Blackwing Dragon? Where is it? There are 6 signers. Okay, there are 6 of them. I see 5. Where's Blackwing Dragon, Konami? Where is he? I understand there's a lot going on in this card art. I understand that. But where's my boy? Where is he? Where is he? If this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon as many Dragon Synchro monsters from your graveyard as possible. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn. Gains attack equal to the total number original attack of all other Synchro monsters you control. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can return 1 other Dragon Synchro monster you control to the extra deck, and if you do, negate the activation. So it's a monster negate, as long as you have a Dragon Synchro monster on board to return, not send to the graveyard, return to the extra deck. Against attack equal to the original attack of all other Synchro monsters you control. It's super generic. And one Synchro Summon, you can bring back as many Dragon Synchro monsters from the graveyard as possible. So you can bring back up to 5 monsters actually, because this thing can be put in the extra monster zone. And then against attack equal to all of them, which is crazy enough as it is. This is the ultimate OTK machine. This is the ultimate OTK synchro machine. It's crazy because you can. I just realized with the Blue Eyes plays, you have Crimson Dragon and Ultimate Spirit Dragon. If you end on 2 Spirit Dragons, Spirit Dragon send summon Ultimate Spirit. Other Spirit Dragon send to summon Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon target Ultimate Spirit, tribute it or send it back to the extra deck. Summon Crimson Dragon Quetzalcoatl. Then activate its effect to bring back your 2 spirits. So now its attack points become 5,000. You have Ultimate Spirit and Double Spirit. It's that and a monster negate. It's crazy. You have double graveyard negation, an Omni negate, and a monster negate. That's 5,000 attack points and 6,000 defense points. That is insane. Am I crazy here? That's insane. Favorite hero, Shining Flare Wingman. New hero support. 1 fusion monster and a phasant monster on the field. This card is always treated as an elemental hero card. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can shuffle 5 monsters from your graveyard into the deck, then draw 2 cards. And if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack. That is a permanent attack game, so it becomes 3,500, and it's a pot of greed when you shuffle 5 monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Do you know how many monsters you're going to have in your graveyard by the time this thing is brought out? That is stupid easy to do. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that original monster's attack. So this thing is super generic. Super generic. So you don't even have to really play this in a hero deck. You can play this in any fusion deck. Yeah, like if you have a fusion monster on board, this is a super poly target, right? Like this is just a super poly target. It really good one if you're playing fusion cards or if you're in like a big fusion meta right now. With Draco Tail, this card can go nuts. This card can go nuts against Draco Tail. And if it destroys monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. So it keeps that effect from the original Shining Flare Wingman. I think this card is really good. I think it's more of a super poly target than anything against Draco Tail, but it's still insanely good. Number 39, Utopia the Envoy of Light. 2 level 4 monsters. More rank 4s, baby! Cannot be destroyed by battle except with a number monster. So this thing is just a big wall if your opponent can't, get rid of it via card effect. Quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 monster you control. The first time it will be destroyed by battle or card effect, it is not destroyed. The second attack of this turn is declared. You can make this card gain 2,500 attack, and if you do, it gains this effect. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon it to your field. So you can make this card gain 2,500 attack to basically beat over damn near anything. Then you can special summon that monster you destroyed to your side of the field. It can also attack, because it doesn't say you special summon in defense position, it says special summon it. So now that big problem card that you were able to get rid of is now yours. It's yours now. So like if you have this thing and you Dark Ruler no more your opponent, you can if they're playing Mitsurugi, you can attack this thing. If this thing's the second thing to attack, you attack into Murakumo, and then you activate its effect to special summon it to your side of the field. Murakumo Raigekis your opponent's board and can now swing. Now you have the annoying Omni Negate, which is funny. Decode Talker integration to affect monsters. This card is in the extra monster zone, gains 500 attack for every other linked monster on the field and in the graveyard. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Quick effect, you contribute one monster this card points to and send one cyber monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Also, this card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase this turn. I don't see this card being too crazy. I think, if anything, it's going to be put in like Malice decks, if anything, but we'll see. Again, I don't think this card is too crazy, but we'll see how it works out. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, up to 4 Heavenly Dragons. You can only use the Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, add 1 Pendulum monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. Also, for the rest of this turn, unless you Pendulum Summon after this effect resolves, you cannot activate monster effects on the field. So this is a means to play Performer Powers, I believe. I think that's what this deck really wants you to do. You can only use the second monster effect of this card's name once per turn. This Pendulum Summon card gains these effects. Gains attack equal to the difference between the pendulum scales of the 2 cards in your opponent's pendulum zone times 300. Any battle damage your opponent takes from battles involving this card is doubled. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add it to your hand. Then if it was destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon it. So if your opponent beats over this thing or just gets rid of it, you add it to your hand, and then you can immediately special summon it. Which is good and all, I guess. Again, pendulums need a lot to be extremely playable. They need to be, like, crazy, right? Like, pendulums just need to be crazy. I'm not too familiar with the Zark form of the pendulums, so we'll see. We'll see if this thing gets played. Cyber End Dragon, the Decisive Strike Dragon. I really like how they're giving Cyber End Dragon a retrain. I think it really needed it. 3 machine monsters with 2100 or more attack must be fusion summoned. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control this card fusion summoned using only light monsters, you can pay 4,000 life points, add 1 limiter removal from your deck to your hand. If this card attacks a defenseless monster, inflict piercing battle damage. This card, whose current attack is higher than its original attack, can make a second and third attack during each battle phase. That's crazy. Because you pay 4,000 life points, add limiter removal, it doubles your monster's attack points. So you now have an 8k monster, right? Inflicts piercing battle damage, and if its attack is higher than its original, you can attack a second and third time. So, 8,000 damage, it's doing piercing or whatever to your opponent. You're winning that game. You are winning that game because there's no restriction with this thing saying, oh, you can only attack with this thing. No. If you have this on your board, plus even like one other monster, you're winning that game. You're winning that game, almost guaranteed. That is an OTK machine, dude. Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, 3 level 8 monsters. Once per turn, you can also Xyz summon Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon Photon Howling by using 1 rank 8 Xyz monster you control. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can take 1 Photon monster from your deck and either special summon in defense position or attach to this card as material. Quick effect, you can attach 3 materials from this card to be 1 other Xyz monster, and if you do, negate the effects of all other face-up cards currently on the field until the end of this turn. This is just a Dark Ruler No More on legs. You can continuously add a material to it from your deck. Now, I believe Photon monsters have effect. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Don't Photon monsters have effects based on if they're used as material and they give the monster they're attached to these effects? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a thing? Starving Venom Fusion Dragon of the 4 Heavenly Dragons. 2 dark monsters on the field. This card is always treated as a Predaplant card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 other face-up monster on the field, change its attack to 0, negate its effects, also its attribute becomes dark. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can fusion summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using dark monsters on the field, including this card. This is a super poly on legs. This is a super poly on legs that your opponent can interact with. This is crazy. This is insane. Shut up, phone. But this card is buku bananas. Like oh my god. Like it's not even like generic. Like it's not even like, oh, summon a Predaplant monster. It's so long as you are summoning a dark fusion monster, use any card. This thing gets you Mirror Jade. This thing can get you Dracostapelia. This thing can get you into, depending on what you're faced against, I believe it can get you into Masquerade Dragon. There's a lot of dark. If you're playing against YuBell, and you, for whatever reason you're planning for it, you can just summon Loving Defender. It's nuts. Borreload Liberator Dragon. It's a Link 4, 3 plus effect monsters. You can only special summon Borreload Liberator Dragons once per turn. Once per turn during the battle phase, quick effect, you can place one monster your opponent controls in a zone this card points to, and take control of it. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. You could just change a heart your opponent's card permanently, and your opponent can't do anything about it? That's crazy. Once per chain, if this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target one monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. Wait, didn't it say you can always special summon Borreload Liberator Dragon once per turn? So I guess if this card gets destroyed on your next turn, you can bring it back. And that's why it's got the links on the side, so that way you can summon, you can still use it, change of heart effect. That's crazy. A change of heart that your opponent cannot respond to. That is nuts. That's actually crazy. I think this card's going to become if you have a slot left over in your extra deck and you already have access code, just put this thing in. Just put this thing in. That's an insane effect. And then, of course, like I said earlier, we're getting overframes of a bunch of other cards. We got Mirror Jade's getting one, Super Poly's getting one, Dominus Purge is getting one, Dragoon is getting one, Wake Up Your E-Hero is getting one. Just, they all look really good. I really like all of these. And I think that's it as far as what we got for the overframe cards. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is going to be really good for the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. I think it's going to make it more collectible again. I think that people are going to go nuts, especially for these serialized cards. But let me know what you guys think. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Come think of the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Come to my host as a whole. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.